This video contains a truth that has changed the lives of many people. If you are having health problems and have ever felt stuck, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment in the comment section so we can share useful knowledge together. Have you ever had one of those days where you wake up, stretch your arms, and suddenly feel like your body is carrying just a little more weight than usual? Not physical weight, but the kind that comes from years of wear, responsibilities, and maybe even some quiet worries you don't always talk about. Now imagine this. You've finally got a little time for yourself. Maybe you're planning to see the grandkids, go to your favorite local diner, or just take a peaceful walk at the park. But out of nowhere, a small cough turns into a nagging chest pain. A little chill turns into days spent in bed. Before you know it, something that started off small takes away weeks or even lands you in the hospital. That's the tricky thing about flu and pneumonia. They don't knock on the door politely. They come crashing in, especially when our defenses are down. And after 60, they can hit a lot harder than they used to. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. There are simple, smart steps we can take starting today to lower the risk and protect the life you've worked so hard to enjoy. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 essential ways to protect yourself from flu and pneumonia. No complicated medical talk, just real, honest advice that can keep you safe, strong, and living life on your terms. And if you're living with a medical condition like diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or you've been through a tough illness recently, I want you to share that in the comments below. Not because you need to explain yourself, but because this is a space where you can get real advice and support. You're not alone here. So let's get into it step by step. The first one might surprise you a little. It all starts with something that seems so small, but can change everything: getting your vaccines up to date. Now I know, just hearing the word vaccine might make some folks tune out. But stay with me, because this isn't about doing what someone tells you. It's about keeping your independence. It's about staying out of the hospital. It's about making sure a small virus doesn't knock you down for weeks or worse. The flu shot isn't just for people who work in hospitals. It's not just for kids in school. It's especially important for people over 60. Your immune system has been through a lot, decades of fighting, healing, and protecting. And while it's still doing a remarkable job, it just doesn't bounce back as quickly as it used to. The flu virus changes every year, which is why the vaccine changes too. And I know, maybe you've gotten it before and still caught a cold. But this isn't about preventing every sniffle. It's about making sure that if you do get the flu, your body has a head start. That shot is like giving your immune system a cheat sheet before the test even starts. And then there's the pneumonia vaccine. This one isn't as commonly talked about, but it can be even more important. Pneumonia can be sneaky. It starts like a cold or a cough, but can turn into a dangerous infection that fills your lungs and makes breathing feel like a battle. There are actually 2 types of pneumonia vaccines for older adults, and depending on your health and medical history, you might need one or both. The best part? These aren't yearly shots. You usually get them once, and then you're covered for years. So if you're sitting there thinking, "Hey, I'll get to it next time," let me tell you, this is the time. Pick up the phone, call your doctor or pharmacy, and ask, "Am I up to date on my flu and pneumonia vaccines?" That one phone call could save your life. Now, once you've got your immune system some armor, the next step is making sure your body is strong enough to fight off infections if they do sneak in. And that strength doesn't come from lifting weights at the gym or running marathons. It comes from something even more powerful: what you eat and drink every single day. You've probably heard the phrase, "You are what you eat." But the older we get, the more true that becomes. A diet full of processed foods, sugary snacks, and salty convenience meals might have been okay in your 30s or 40s. But now, it slows down healing. It drains energy, and it weakens your immune response. Your body needs fuel, not just any fuel, but the kind that's rich in nutrients, vitamins, and anti-inflammatory power. That means colorful fruits and vegetables, not just apples and bananas, but berries, leafy greens, carrots, and sweet potatoes. These aren't just tasty, they're immune-boosting superheroes. Then there's hydration. This one is easy to ignore, because when you're not sweating or exercising, it doesn't feel like you need to drink much. But here's a secret. As you age, your sense of thirst actually weakens. That means by the time you feel thirsty, your body might already be dehydrated, and dehydration makes every illness hit harder. So make it a habit to sip water throughout the day. Keep a glass or bottle near your favorite chair or bedside table. Warm herbal teas are also a great option and can even soothe your throat if you're starting to feel under the weather. And one more thing, don't forget protein. Your muscles, your immune system, and your healing ability all depend on it. Whether it's chicken, fish, eggs, beans, or even a protein shake, getting enough protein helps your body rebuild and defend itself from infections. If you've lost your appetite lately or struggle to cook like you used to, that's okay. This isn't about being perfect. It's about doing a little better each day. Maybe adding one healthy meal, swapping out soda for water, choosing soup instead of chips. Every small change adds up, and every bit of strength you build today helps protect you tomorrow. Now that we've talked about vaccines and building a strong immune foundation with food and hydration, let's keep going, because there's another essential piece to this puzzle, one that many people overlook. You know, it's amazing how just a little consistency with small health habits can shape the way we feel, especially during those colder months when illnesses seem to linger in the air like fog. And when it comes to protecting ourselves from flu and pneumonia, the second step can be one of the most overlooked, but it has the power to really change the game. Let's talk about something simple, but incredibly powerful: hand hygiene. I know, we've heard it 1,000 times, but let's be honest. Do we really give it the attention it deserves? Washing our hands isn't just about cleanliness. It's a frontline defense against some of the nastiest bugs out there. Think about all the places your hands go in a day: doorknobs, grocery carts, elevator buttons, even the armrest at the doctor's office. Viruses can live on those surfaces for hours, sometimes longer, and the moment we touch our nose, mouth, or rub our eyes, those germs can slip right in. Now here's the key: washing with soap and warm water for just 20 seconds, about the time it takes to hum your favorite verse from an old song, can rinse away millions of germs. And when you're on the go, a little bottle of hand sanitizer in your coat pocket or purse can be your best friend. Try to go for one with at least 60% alcohol. It dries fast and does the job when soap and water aren't an option. One of my patients, Barbara, 74, used to think hand washing was just a formality. But after she caught the flu from a family gathering, despite getting her flu shot, she made it a point to be extra vigilant. Now she jokes that she's the queen of clean hands, and she hasn't had so much as a cold in over a year. Sometimes it's not about drastic changes, it's about the small ones we actually stick to. While we're on the topic of contact, let's talk about surfaces and shared spaces. Wiping down your phone, your light switches, your walker handles, all those little places that we touch without thinking can make a surprising difference. Especially during flu season, keeping disinfecting wipes nearby isn't being obsessive. It's being proactive. And it's not just about our own hands. When grandkids come over or caregivers stop by, you can gently remind them too. It doesn't need to be awkward. A simple, mind washing up before we sit down is all it takes. Trust me, most people appreciate the reminder more than you think. Alright, now let's shift gears for a moment, because there's something else that doesn't get nearly enough credit when we talk about fighting off infections, and that's sleep. Yes, good old-fashioned rest. Our immune system is like a little army, and sleep is when it trains, rebuilds, and prepares for the next day's battles. The older we get, the more our bodies rely on restful sleep to stay strong. But here's the problem. Many seniors struggle with falling or staying asleep, whether it's due to medications, chronic pain, or even just a racing mind at night. Sleep can start to feel elusive. But if you're not sleeping well, your body can't fight as well. Now, I'm not saying you need to be tucked in by 8 p.m. and sleeping like a teenager, but aiming for at least 7 hours of quality rest can do wonders. One helpful trick: try creating a small, calming bedtime routine. Maybe it's a warm cup of chamomile tea, a relaxing soak for your feet, or reading a few pages from a book instead of watching the late-night news. Dimming the lights an hour before bed helps your body know it's time to slow down. And if you're up often during the night, you're not alone. Just avoid napping too long during the day, which can throw off your natural rhythm. And let me add this, if snoring, gasping, or waking up exhausted is a regular thing, don't brush it off. It could be sleep apnea, which is more common in older adults than many realize. A simple sleep study can uncover issues that once treated might make a world of difference, not just for your energy, but also for your immune health. I had one gentleman, Joseph, 68, who used to catch every cold that went around, and no one could figure out why. Turns out, he had severe sleep apnea and wasn't getting enough oxygen at night. After getting it treated with ACPAP, not only did he sleep better, but he said he felt like he got his life back. He hasn't had the flu since. So, between keeping your hands clean and giving your body the rest it truly deserves, you're already building a powerful defense. And the beautiful thing about these habits, they don't cost much, they don't require prescriptions, and they put the control back in your hands, where it belongs. Let's keep this momentum going, because the next step is one that not only protects you, but helps protect the people you care about most. You know, one of the best feelings in the world is knowing you've done something not just for yourself, but for the people you love. And when it comes to preventing illnesses like the flu and pneumonia, there's one powerful step that doesn't just protect you. It protects your family, your friends, your neighbors, even the friendly checker at the grocery store. I'm talking about vaccines. Now, I know, the moment you hear that word, you might feel a mix of things. Maybe you've already gotten your flu shot and pneumonia vaccine, and you feel good about it. Or maybe you're still on the fence, unsure if it's necessary, wondering if it's really safe, or feeling like maybe you're too old for it to make a difference. But let me tell you something straight from the heart. Vaccines don't just matter, they save lives, especially after age 60. The flu can knock a younger adult off their feet for a few days, sure, but for seniors, it can land you in the hospital. Or worse, pneumonia is even trickier. It sneaks in, often after a cold or flu, and before you know it, it can turn serious fast. I've seen it far too many times. Folks who were perfectly healthy, independent, doing well, suddenly in a hospital bed with breathing tubes, all from an infection that could have been prevented. And I say that not to scare you, but to empower you, because you can take steps to avoid being in that situation. Getting your flu shot once a year, ideally in the fall, gives your immune system the tools it needs to fight off that year's strain. And for pneumonia, there are actually two types of vaccines, and depending on your age and health, you might need both. Your doctor can help you figure out the right schedule, and the good news is, many pharmacies now offer them, so it's more convenient than ever. And for anyone who thinks, well, I got it last year, so I'm probably covered, unfortunately, it doesn't quite work that way. Viruses change. They're sneaky like that. The flu virus especially mutates every year, which is why updated vaccines are released annually. They're not perfect, but even when they don't fully prevent the flu, they dramatically reduce the risk of severe illness and complications. I had a patient, 76, named Gloria, full of life, always dancing at church, helping with her grandkids. One winter she skipped her flu shot, thinking she was healthy enough to handle it. A few weeks later, she was in the ICU with pneumonia. Thankfully, she recovered, but it was a rough road. Now she tells everyone in her community, get your shots, don't take the chance I did. And she's right. Getting vaccinated is an act of self-care, but it's also a gift to the people around you. Your spouse, your grandkids, your friends at the senior center. When you're protected, you reduce the risk of passing anything on to them. That's powerful. That's love in action. Now, let's talk about something a little less medical, but just as important, staying active. And no, I don't mean joining a gym or doing push-ups at dawn. I mean gentle, consistent movement that keeps your lungs strong, your circulation flowing, and your mood lifted. Because guess what? Your immune system loves movement. You don't have to run marathons to get the benefits. A simple 20-minute walk around the block, some light stretching with your favorite music playing, or even dancing around the living room, it all counts. Movement helps improve lung capacity, strengthens your heart, and reduces inflammation in your body. All things that help your immune system stay on guard. And here's a beautiful bonus. Moving your body also boosts your mental health. That little walk in the sunshine or a few gentle yoga poses can lift your spirits, ease anxiety, and help you sleep better at night, which, as we talked about earlier, also plays a huge role in staying healthy. I've seen seniors in their 70s and 80s who never used to exercise. Start with just 5 minutes a day. Over time, they felt more confident, less achy, and more energetic. One man, Harold, used to say he had rusty joints. After a few weeks of chair yoga and daily walks, he said, "I don't feel rusty anymore. I feel alive." That's what we're aiming for. Not perfection, just progress. And if you've got mobility issues, don't let that hold you back. There are chair exercises, gentle arm and leg movements, even breathing techniques that get your diaphragm working and your lungs stronger. Every little bit helps. What matters most is doing something, and doing it regularly. So let's take a breath here. You've already taken in a lot, and if you've been nodding along, or thinking about what changes you might make, that's fantastic. You're already on the path to strengthening your body's defenses and taking charge of your health. Because when you take care of yourself, you don't just avoid getting sick. You gain something priceless. You gain more days doing what you love, more mornings waking up with energy, more hugs, more laughter, more time. And isn't that what it's all about? So, now that we've covered these steps, let's bring it all together with something that ties everything into one daily habit that most people overlook, but could be the very key to staying healthy all year round. Now, as we wrap up these powerful steps, let's talk about something that many of us take for granted: nutrition. You might be thinking, what does food have to do with flu or pneumonia prevention? Well, quite a lot, actually. Your body is like a car. You need the right fuel to keep it running smoothly. And when it comes to fighting off infections, you need the right nutrients to support your immune system. If your diet is lacking in the vitamins and minerals your body needs, your immune defenses could be a lot weaker than they should be. Think about it this way: you wouldn't run a car on empty, right? Well, don't run your body on empty either. The good news is that it doesn't take drastic changes, just small, consistent additions to your meals that can make all the difference. For example, vitamin C, that age-old immune booster, is a must. Citrus fruits, bell peppers, and leafy greens are packed with it. And don't forget about vitamin D. Studies show that many people, especially as they age, are deficient in vitamin D, which is crucial for immune function. Getting some sunlight each day and incorporating foods like fortified dairy or eggs can help. Another key nutrient to consider is zinc. Zinc helps in the production of white blood cells, which are your body's first line of defense against illness. You can get zinc from foods like beans, nuts, and whole grains. Protein is also essential. Think about lean meats, beans, and tofu. Protein helps your body rebuild and repair, which is important not only when you're fighting an illness, but also for keeping you strong and active day in and day out. Now, I know some days it might feel tough to get in all those fruits and veggies. I get it. It's easy to reach for something more convenient. But even a small change, like swapping out a sugary snack for a piece of fruit or adding a handful of spinach to your morning smoothie, can help fuel your immune system. And trust me, your body will thank you for it. Here's something that might surprise you. Staying hydrated is just as important as nutrition. Dehydration can weaken your immune system, making it harder for your body to fight off infections. So, keep a water bottle close by throughout the day. Aim for at least 8 glasses, and if you're active or it's a hot day, you might need even more. I want to tell you about a lady named Margaret. She's 68 and a self-proclaimed picky eater. She wasn't getting enough of the right nutrients, and she was often feeling run down. After chatting with her doctor, she made a small change. She started adding a scoop of protein powder and a few extra veggies to her smoothies each morning. After a few weeks, she felt more energized, her skin looked better, and best of all, she didn't catch the flu like she had the year before. Little changes, big results. So, remember this: your body is your most important asset. You've worked hard all your life, and now it's about taking the time to care for yourself. And when you combine a balanced diet with those other steps, like staying active, keeping up with your vaccines, and getting plenty of rest, you're giving your immune system the best possible chance to keep you healthy. As we conclude today's video, I want to leave you with this. Health is not a destination. It's a journey, and you're on the right path. Every small change you make, every positive decision, adds up over time. It's the accumulation of these little actions that will help you stay strong, active, and healthy for many more years to come. I want you to remember that you are capable of taking charge of your health. Even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, it's never too late to make choices that benefit you. You're not alone in this. You've got support, and there are people who care about you and want to see you thrive. So, as we finish today's conversation, I want you to take a deep breath. You've got this. Keep moving forward, stay consistent, and keep loving your body with good food, plenty of rest, and the right preventive steps. You're not just preventing flu and pneumonia. You're investing in a long, healthy life. If you have any thoughts, experiences, or questions about staying healthy, leave them in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on living your best life at any age. Here's to living your best life, full of energy, joy, and good health, no matter what your age. Stay strong, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.